I'm Joni Patry, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Well, today I want to talk about the month of April, which it is packed full of events and many of the things that I need to talk about. So looking at this month, we have Jupiter Gandanta. It will actually be Gandanta all the way through May, which means it is in the last degrees of a water sign, which in Scorpio, and the very first degrees of a fire sign, which it's going to come and stop on April 10th when it stations to turn retrograde at 0 degrees of Sagittarius. So this month we are going to have Saturn, Jupiter, Pluto, and Ketu all together in the sign of Sagittarius. That is incredibly powerful. This is the sign of spiritual religious beliefs, and there's going to be so much flying in the air. And the fact that Ketu's coming to influence all of these planets, Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto, means things are coming from the past and things that need to be dissolved, things that need to be looked at. And this is all happening this month, which watch how the whole air of society, the way people feel, the way people connect is changing. Because all the things that we have been hiding, or society, the corruption, are now surfacing, and now is the time of a healing of all of the past that has really corrupted and set the stage for some very vile things that have been happening in our society, which I might as well talk about right now. There's been so much that has come out. And recently, I might as well talk about, I did a YouTube on Michael Jackson, The Truth About Neverland, because there was just an HBO special that came out that brought back all of the things that were pretty much cleared away and hidden. And now we have many of the victims coming forth. It kind of reminds me of the Bill Cosby thing all over again, because now a lot of people are coming out of the dark. People that were silenced, people that were silent before. And why do I bring it up now? Why is this coming out now? Why do people wait to this time to bring it out after he's been gone for a while? Well, I always say charts live on. And if you look at his chart, his natal Neptune is exactly where his natal moon is exactly where Neptune is transiting right now. And his moon is in the 10th house of fame, the public eye. And this is coming out now. The truth. Neptune brings out the hidden secrets. That's what Neptune's all about, the denials. And now is the time. It's surfacing. What's going on in the Catholic Church? My God, this has been brewing and coming to a head for a long time, and many of these cases are surfacing. Are they taking charge and atoning to the past that has been done, to the innocent boys, altar boys? It's all coming out now, and it's all changing. Everything to do with our beliefs. And many of us are so attached to celebrities, to people that we honor, that we look up to, that we believe in. And when this facade, when the air is cleared, when we see the truth of who people really are, it's very disappointing, because we want to glorify and glamorize people to see the good in them. But when we see their fall and see what they're really about, it is very disappointing, and many people cannot accept the truth because many people prefer to stay in denial. But that's exactly what's been happening throughout all the years, all the denials, all the secrets. Now it's time to heal them. You can't heal till you recognize what the issue and the problem is. And all the sexual abuse that's been going on in our society, it's being uncovered now. And the more that we are aware of the truth, the less it can hurt us or happen anymore. Oprah Winfrey actually interviewed the two boys that came forth and said what Michael Jackson had really been doing to them. A lot of people think and have said that they're just after money. Well, initially they lied for Michael. And if you see the HBO special, you'll know what I'm talking about. And Oprah did a show interviewing these two grown men now who were boys. And they explained how the mind is manipulated. And they also explained how it destroyed their lives staying in denial. And this happens to so many people. As an astrologer, I see this daily, where people set their minds to believe something that is a denial to protect themselves, and it destroys their lives. Comes out in addictions, comes out in emotional problems, the lack of having healthy relationships. All of this is surfacing now, and now is a good time for healing. So I want to talk more about the astrology and what's going on this month, because it's very special, because Jupiter will for 3 weeks be in the sign of Sagittarius, 0 degrees of Sagittarius. And this is a sneak preview of what's to come when Jupiter is conjunct Saturn and K2, which is when Jupiter will finally go into the sign of Sagittarius, will be in November, around November 4th of 2019, where it will stay for the most part in 2020 in the sign of Sagittarius. So Jupiter is the truth. Coming into the sign of Sagittarius, this is the unraveling of all the truths. And this also deals with the corruption in government, because Saturn and Pluto are going to be conjunct. And Saturn and Pluto this month of April, that really brings out the downfall, the corruption happening in where Saturn represents governments. So governments are falling, governments are changing, it being exposed. And K2, if you think you've seen the explosion and revealing of the truth, up to this point, you haven't seen nothing yet, because the best is yet to come in terms of the clearing of the air and the truth. You've got it. So coming up also this month, we have Jupiter turn retrograde, April 10th. Then we're going to also have Saturn and Pluto turn retrograde. And when Pluto turns retrograde, it is always with a big bang. And Pluto is going to turn retrograde April 24th, and then Saturn will turn retrograde April 29th. On those days, powerful events will happen, and Pluto does deal with powerful energy, such as atomic energy. So watch how the fears are going to ignite around these times and what's to come, because I believe that when you put K2 together with Saturn and Pluto, there's the threat of major destruction and possible leading up to more and more terrorist attacks and explosive events. And of course, during all the rumblings with all the human emotions involved in this, you're going to find that the earth shakes. So earthquakes, volcanic eruptions. I know I've been talking about this for a while, but this is all coming to a head more and more, because what's going to be unfolding is really throughout the end of 2019. Watch May and June. Very, very significant, but it's all culminating to a big transformational change that's never, ever happened on this planet before. But more people are becoming conscious, aware, awakened. And this is the power of the good that's going to come out of this, because when the truth is revealed, healing occurs. It frees us from all the denials that have plagued us. Because remember, what is happening without is because of what is happening within. It's always a reflection of what is inside. So you can see that now people are ready to wake up. Another thing, that there are a lot of things that are going on this month. One is that when we look at where Saturn is, Saturn will be aspecting by its third full aspect Venus, Mercury, and Neptune. And while Mercury is finally going forward now, direct, it's stationed exactly with Neptune. So that's another explosion of seeing the truth. And many things from the past, such as things in government. We will know the truth about Kennedy. We will know the truth about aliens. All these things in our government cannot be covered up anymore. All the cover-ups are open for us to see clearly. Now, another interesting aspect is that Mars will be in Taurus this month. While it's in Taurus, it's fully aspecting the Jupiter, the Saturn, the Ketu, the Pluto, by its 8th full aspect, which is in Western astrology is called a quincunx. In Vedic astrology, we call it the full 8th aspect. And it does give the effects of the 8th house. So this is more and more destruction. More things are coming out. And Mars, being in the sign of Taurus, a lot of resistance. People that want to not believe the truth will fight against it as much as they can. The denial, they dig their heels in deeper and they will deny, but the truth will finally prevail. That's what's breaking through at this time that we will see for sure. Another thing I may predict that's very interesting this month, you will see some breakups that will be shocking. Divorces, spiritual leaders, people on the pulpit that pretend to be perfect. Watch how they go through divorces. Shocking to the public. I won't name who I see this happening to, but you will see. It's all coming out. Because here's another thing. People are human. We tend to glorify and see them as being perfect. Spiritual leaders, gurus, we put them on a pedestal. They are perfect, but they're human. And humans make mistakes. So we must learn to accept that their teachings, you cannot align totally with their behavior. So this will be something that will come about. Why? Because I'm seeing that Mercury with Neptune and Venus relationships with Neptune, there will be shocking divorces. And there may be some of your friends that may surprise you that their marriages are breaking up. Now, another thing that I want you to be very cognizant of. Now that Mars could create accidents with these aspects, such as travels and things of that nature, even airlines, those kind of things. But things are being corrected with certain airplanes, as we know with Boeing. That's another thing that's being cleared and open the truth, the denials of what Boeing was hiding. Another thing, on an astronomical level, on a very astrological level, for those of you who really want to understand astrology, I look at declination. When I talk about declination, these are the lineups of the planets pretty much up and down. So when we talk about the longitude and conjunctions, we're talking about the planets pretty much, if I can put it in in the idea that you can understand, is kind of horizontal, but up and down is declination, north and south. So when we have planets aligned in declination and in conjunction, they are really called an occultation. They are lined up exactly. Not always when a planet's conjunct is it aligned with declination, but this month in May, they will be powerful, what we call parallels. So we're going to have Mars and Rahu will be parallel this month, and then contra-parallel to Mars and Rahu, we'll have Pluto, Saturn, Ketu, and they are, Mars, Rahu is contra-parallel, where the Saturn, Pluto, and Ketu are, which are south, and the others north. But Jupiter is going to align and is going to be parallel with the Saturn, Ketu, and Pluto. And what's going to happen is this is going to really shift the economy. Watch how this changes. Why? Because of the fears that are really ignited throughout the world with so much change, transformation, and most of all, the attacks. There's going to be attacks, verbal, physical, destruction is occurring now. To what? Annihilate the darkness, because the light is forcing its way in, and the light is the truth. That's how I see it. So another thing I want to bring out in terms of all of these denials, look and see all the movies, the real life experiences of people. Things are breaking down. No more of this corruption, the abuse, sexual abuse. One Netflix movie I want to say that blew my mind in terms of denials, and viewer discretion with this one, is called Abducted in Plain Sight. That is the ultimate of how the mind can be controlled and manipulated. And denial is so powerful. But all of that is changing. All of that is changing. Now is the most powerful time ever for change. And for those of you that are interested in cryptocurrency, I know it's the wave of the future, but it's been very quiet now. It will start to rise. And by 2020 and 2021 is my major prediction. That will be when it will take a great stand again, because it's really getting away from, it's decentralized, where we're not so tied into the government, the banks, and all of the corruption that's been going on with the Federal Reserve and all of that. Everything, you have no idea, will be exposed. And everything happens for a divine reason. This is because the light is forcing the clarity. And astrologically, Neptune is in a very powerful position now to bring clarity. And all of these aspects that I'm seeing happen this month, and it's bound to get even more intense. One more thing I might talk about, look at the bribes the universities have been taking on, all that corruption and money, all that's coming out. So it's so freeing. Use this time to change your own life, because the energy is so powerful. To be able to be free, to be aware, to be truthful again. This is what heals. Remember this, if I could leave you with a very positive way of looking at things, is so many people think that meditating, doing mantras, being a vegetarian, all these things are the way to God and spirituality. Yes, they can help, but above all of that, the most important thing in this world, and is my truth, is how you treat other people. When you treat other people with caring, love, and respect, then that means that that's how you feel about yourself, because what you feel within is always projected out. But always The most important thing spiritually in this world is how we treat others. Treat people the way you would like to be treated. And it has to come from a natural response to really treat people in a kind and wonderful way. So with that, I'd like to close. If you would like to learn more about me or get a reading, you can always go to my website, which is galacticcenter.org. Or if you would like to learn Vedic astrology, I have a university, which is University of Vedic Astrology.com. And check out my magazine where I have all of these articles, which you can tap into, which is astrologicmagazine.com. And if you would like a dissertation of this video delivered to your email, sign up for my newsletter. You can find that on my website, galacticcenter.org. Thank you.